South Africa's economy is growing again. The nation's credit rating has improved and inflation is at its lowest level in 20 years. Those are just some of the achievements highlighted in President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address. While upbeat on the prospects ahead, the head of states flagged that work needs to be done to translate SA's gains into sustained growth. And a primary focus this year will be to step up the fight against organized crime and syndicates. A national illicit economy disruption program is also being established to curb the growing counterfeit sector that's threatened job growth in the country. On the issue of tackling South Africa's water crisis, Ramaphosa says both the Water and Sanitation Minister Phemi Mujodina and Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velunkosi Hlabisa have been tasked with urgently addressing the issue and are on site doing so. He's added that a national water infrastructure agency is being planned to mobilize funding to address deficiencies. That's just some of the key themes emerging from this year's SONA, and we'll continue to unpack those in more detail in tomorrow's programming. The mining sector staged a recovery in December. Production rose by 2.5% following a downwardly revised 2.4% slump in the prior month. Manganese ore and iron ore were the main contributors. In the meantime, the manufacturing sector continued its downward trend, albeit at a slower pace. The industry logged a 1.4% decline in output, much softer than the previous month's contraction of 2%. Food and beverages were the largest pressure points during the period. In company news, AB InBev's delivered growth despite an industry-wide slump in beer demand. The brewers posted a 2% rise in revenue and a near 6% increase in underlying earnings per share. AB InBev says near-term demand in some key markets was impacted by a constrained consumer environment and unseasonable weather. Still, it managed to report record high beer volumes in Colombia, and sales of its premium beer, Corona, led double-digit volume growth in 30 markets. Looking ahead, the group says it's entering 2026 well-positioned and that it's set to benefit from major sporting events like the Super Bowl, Winter Olympics and FIFA World Cup. Strong. Now that's how South 32's described its half-year performance. The diversified mine and metals company posted a 5% rise in headline earnings and has declared a dividend of 3.9 US cents. That's nearly 15% higher than the prior period. South 32 cited a higher base and precious metals prices and says it's also upped its capital management program by $100 million to $2.6 billion to reflect its strong financial position and the positive outlook for the business. British American Tobacco's posted higher annual profit as its new categories products continue to make inroads. The company says its Velo nicotine pouch gained market share during the period, and that, along with higher sales of newer vapes and heated tobacco products, supported 2.3% growth in adjusted profit from operations. That's lifted its dividend by a similar margin. Looking ahead, the company is targeting a 3 to 5% rise in revenue in 2026 and says its adjusted profit from operations should increase by at least 4%. IHS Towers, the Nigerian firm that MTN aims to acquire, has signed a deal to sell off its Brazilian fiber business. It says the move, valued at over 7 billion rand, forms part of a broader strategy to create value for shareholders. The news comes almost a week after MTN confirmed that it is in talks to acquire the continent's largest cell phone tower operator. As IHS's largest shareholder with a 1/4 stake, MTN has been mulling the future of its investment in the company for a few years. This transaction would see MTN acquiring the 75% of IHS it does not already own.